In the last video, we learned how to copy files and directories between Linux machines via the SSH protocol using SCP. So a lot of acronyms there. Today, let's learn how to create public and private keys, how we copy our public key to a remote machine, how we configure the SSH config file. And so let's jump in. Let's start by jumping over to the SSH directory, which is hidden. It starts with a dot and it should be in your home directory. If it's not there, you can just create it with a dot, no worries. This is a container, kind of the location for all your public keys, your private keys, and your known hosts. And what is the known host? It's a database of all the public keys for all the SSH servers that you have connected to. So as you can see, this is the server name, and then or you might have an IP, and then this is the actual public key for that server. And if this ever changes when you're connecting to this IP, it's going to warn you and tell you about a potential man-in-the-middle attack. Now let's create an SSH key pair, SSH keygen, and do type. And here you have the RSA, the old king of the hill, but I am going to use ED25519, that Cyborg, the crazy machine. And why? Well, it's more secure. And then also the public key is way shorter. It's nicer to send, manage, etc. Like it, love it. And comment, I always put my name in and then a company that I'm working from or for. So this fictitious company. I also do file and then SSH and then the name of the private public key that I want to create. You do not have to use the -F. It's going to prompt you if you don't do that, so no worries. And passphrase, as you can see, it put it where I wanted to. And no, I do not want a passphrase, but thank you. So here you have the public and private key. So this is your private key. Never show that on Twitch or anywhere at all. Cat, animal, farm. This is the public key. So this is the comment that I wrote. And this is the actual public key. So if you ever want to give it away, give it away, give it away now without the comment, you can just do so. Your public key is going to function just fine, just fine. Now let's copy this public key, SSH copy ID, and let's copy the public key. And we're going to copy it to this server right here. And prompting me for my password. And as you can see, number of keys added, voila, 1, done. So we can do SSH and then identity, animal farm. You have to use the private key. Remember that, not the public key. And then Arman at Ansible. And we're in. No password, no fuss, no nothing. Sweet sauce. Let's jump back to my machine. I am not a fan at all of always telling SSH which private key to use. For example, I'm in my home directory right now, and I would have to do it this way in Animal Farm, Arman at Ansible, and I don't like that. Let's fire up the SSH agent, and what that does, it takes care of storing our private keys for us. And it also, if you have a passphrase on your private key, you only have to put it in once and that's it. So it's not going to prompt you again and again for your passphrase, which is nice. So let's just verify that it's running. See, it is. Of course it is. But I did that because I wanted to show you grep shows up, of course. If you want in the future, if you have a scripting thing or you have to exclude grep from what you're looking at. See, now you only get the SSH agent and it only greps that and shows that as the output. So that's nice. That's nice. Little tidbit, free tidbit. Well, everything's free here. Smorgasbord of freeness. So what we can do now, since the SSH agent is running, we can check no identities loaded, so no private keys are loaded. SSH, let's add our animal farm private key, and now it's loaded. Nice, nice. What happens if I try to SSH in. Is it going to ask me where my private key is? No, it does not. And so I am in, which is super nice. Let's just be honest. Let's just speak Icelandic here. Doing this crap every time we touch the field. No, every time you fire up the terminal is not better than actually doing this. So let's make it more sublime and better. We want to live in an ideal world. So this is more ideal. V, that's an alias for Vim for me, and Vim. And because I'm such a hipster, I'm using the zshrc by the zshrc. And you can do this for bashrc or zshrc. And so eval, so you would just put it in there, whatever you were doing before. And if this, so what's happening right there? If the SSH agent works, goes up, then we're going to add it. SSH add. What's wrong with my, it's been a long day. It's been a long day. Oh, yeah. And then we're going to clear because I don't want to see any output from this when I open up the terminal. So what's happening right here is still in insert mode. Sorry, still in insert mode. Eval the SSH agent, fire that beast up. And then if that's okay, SSH add my... What did I do there? Sorry, Animal Farm. And once that's done, I'm going to clear that bad boy. So, are we good? You got it? And sweet. So, if you're running bash, you just nvim away or use whatever you use, bashrc, and then you add it to your stuff. Oh, I can see I'm doing that at the end here as well. So I'm doing that as well. Like, I love bash. I'm a basher. Bash it up. So let's source. Oh, let's first. We can have some fun. Kill all. Let's just do PSAUX grep SSH agent. And there it is. So if you want it to be like I was telling you about earlier, sorry, like that. SSH agent is running, verified. So we're going to do kill all. Kill them all. It's gone. So let's just verify. It's gone. So that's source. zshrc. And let's do it. And there it is. And let's see. If it has the private key, it has the private key to my heart. That was fun. Now, let's finish this up. Oh, we're almost done. Don't click away. Click and subscribe. Now, we're actually going to go into the SSH folder. And I told you at the beginning, we're going to create a config file together, you and me, Ebony and Ivory. So let's do Vim and Vim, whatever you prefer, nano. Okay, before we begin, I have to tell you, the eval method that we just used, the SSH agent, is great if you're at home and you use the same private key to connect to all your machines, or you work for a company where you actually use the same private key to connect to all your servers. So the eval method is amazing, good, great for that. But if you actually have a more complex network, or you work as an MSP, you have proxy jumps you have to go through, different ports, different identity files, different users, a lot more complexity, like use a specific identity file for a specific network, all that jazz. Then the SSH config file is what you need and should use. So just so you know, I always recommend building a really nice, neat SSH config file, even if you're at home, just I don't know, for fun, you can learn something. And so it starts with a host, and the host is a nickname or whatever you want it to be. It could actually be a network as well. So let's just use sloth, and then now we do host name, and that's where you actually have to put in a real DNS name or an IP address. So let's just use this one. And now you have to tell it for that specific host, like if I SSH into sloth, What user am I going to use? I could do that, or port, I could do that. And then I can tell it which identity file to use. And we're going to use this one in animal farm like that. So we're good to go for that specific host. So let's just do SSH sloth and see what happens. Bada bing, I'm in. I just want to show you a few more examples of what you can do with this file, which is kind of neat. Hosts. So for all hosts, I want to have a specific identity file, and that would be Codeberg. And now for all hosts except sloth, it's going to use that identity file. So you can see right away how much better this is than the SSH agent, which works fine in a simpler society when things were simpler. So host, you can even do like a network. So 10 and then a star, and then you can do, I want to do this user admin for all machines on that network. So the options are endless. So have fun with it. I think that's it. Until next time, peace out, my friends.